These 5 booktubers changed the way that I read, and they're a big reason why I press record on my own channel. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Alexis Brianna, and in today's video, I'm going to be sharing 5 booktube creators who inspired me to press record and start my own booktube journey. And these creators have really challenged me to grow, read more diversely, and have welcomed me through their videos into their bookish communities. And I'm really excited to share them with you because they're funny, knowledgeable, critical thinkers, and just super welcoming. So if you have any favorite creators who are booktubers or not, be sure to drop them in the comment section. I'm always looking to add someone to my weekly watch list and mix it up a little bit. So for each creator, I'm going to share one book recommendation I've received from them, as well as a video or maybe 2 that I think that you should watch to get a good sense of their vibe, their channel, the type of content they create, and in general, just their personality overall. Let's start with Marines of My Name is Marines, and she is the first booktuber that I just happened upon. I believe that I found one of her first videos, or the first videos to me, in about 2020, 2021, and she really encourages her community to expand beyond their reading comfort zones, and her videos really explore books across various genres, and she provides a really critical and deep analysis of the body of work that she is reading. And I think it really encourages me to sometimes just read beyond escapism, right? Reading for the enjoyment of it all. But it's, what is this author saying? What are they not saying? What are the undertones? What are the overarching themes? She really just encourages me to work different muscles in terms of reading and just not like reading just to read. And one of the really cool things that she's done recently is start her own imprint. One of her more recent videos that I absolutely loved was one that she did on Pride and Prejudice. I think it was like titled something like Things That Most People Get Wrong About Pride and Prejudice. I can't remember 100% what the title was, but I absolutely love that video because I love the movie and I never considered the differences between the movie and the books, but just seeing her analysis and her thoughtful, nuanced approach to like, well, this is how it was described in the book and this is how it was in the, in the movie, really made me want to actually read the book, which I had never considered because the movie was just so good. Another video that I think was really great was when she reviewed, I think it's not, the second book is called Iron Flame, but the first book, oh my gosh, it's on the tip of my tongue. What is that book called? I'm gonna just drop a picture because I can't think of the name of the title of the book. I just know it was by Rebecca Yarros, and the way that she broke that video, just the book down, I was like, yes. A book recommendation that really surprised me from her is James by Percival Everett. And I was really surprised that this was on her recommendation list because I've heard great things about this book, don't get me wrong. And I know it's won a ton of awards, but she's not a creator that typically gives recommendations on popular books. And even she said she went into the book really hesitant because it did have all of the awards and she wasn't sure if it was overhyped. And she said, no, it's actually worth the hype. And I said, adding to my TBR, definitely adding it because she is a creator that I really trust and value her opinion on books. And for her to say that it was good, I'm like, okay, now this is going to be a stretch for me because it's if you don't know, James of Percival Everett is a retelling or a reimagining of sorts of the adventures of Huckleberry Finn. And it's from the perspective of a different person. And again, heard great things about it, but I just wasn't sure. But with her recommendation, yes, sign me up for the book. The last thing that I will say about her is that she challenges the status quo. She really is open and inviting to nuanced and thoughtful conversations around books. And she really doesn't just tell you why she likes a book or why she doesn't like a book. She, in a way, encourages you to think about the how, the why, not just the bigger picture, but the small details and the inner workings of how books work. Next up, we have Shelbey of Shelbey in the Book Club, and her videos feel like you are hanging out with your friend on FaceTime. Listen, Shelbey is hilarious and she's so authentic and she's so her, and she brings that to her videos. It's very conversational, and she also is another person who reads diversely. And listen, she is not afraid to share her honest opinions even if they're unpopular, and she doesn't do star ratings, which is really interesting to me. I love that she got away from that in a sense, because I don't see a lot of booktubers doing that. And it wasn't always like this. She used to do star ratings, but she got away from them, I think, for a couple of different reasons. But essentially, it comes down to reading being subjective. And honestly, I couldn't agree with her more. I think what you read and how you receive it is dependent on what season of life you're in, what you read before, what you're going to read after, what kind of mood you're in. And that can greatly impact what kind of star rating you give a book. And so her perspective of not doing ratings has really challenged me on thinking, how am I going to do ratings on this channel? How am I going to rate books? Am I going to rate books? And I just love that she has started that conversation, at least for me. Maybe other people are doing it, but she is one of the only creators that I know of right now that is not doing star ratings on their channel. One of the things I absolutely love about Shelbey's content is we see her doing life, when we're actually experiencing doing life with her without physically being there. And we see her mom, we see her friends, we see her recording her podcast and doing interviews and going to different events, and hearing her dog mess with the squeaky toys while she's recording, or play with the plastic in the background. But she also brings us in on the hardships. We see her processing bad news. We see her grieving. We see her trying to figure out how to move through life. And I think that that is just so vulnerable and raw and authentic and admirable that she does that with us. So the way that I discovered Shelbey was through one of her Spicy Reads video. I think it was her original Spicy Reads video. And when I tell you, I was laughing so hard in that video, just her commentary and her speaking to us again like we're friends. It was one of the most hilarious videos that I have watched in a really long time. And even just reading the comment section of that video after it had been published was a whole key. Another video that I love from her is her review of, I think it's Before I Let Go by Kennedy Ryan, a part of the Skyland series. And that book opened her up to romance. Before then, she was more of a literary fiction type of girl, and I think poetry. Like, she read other types of books, but wasn't really, I guess, as open to romance, and it opened her up. So just seeing her perspective on that book was really, really refreshing, to see someone who wasn't already immersed in romance and reading other things, but be, I don't know, slowly fall in love with that genre. Was really cool to see. And the book recommendation that I'm taking from Shelbey is A Love Song by Ricky Wilde, and this is by Tia Williams. She's actually why I have 7 Days of June on my shelf. So yeah, I am definitely going to be adding that to my bookshelf or my cart or whatever you want to call it very soon. And what I love about Shelbey is that she has such a genuine personality. She's hilarious. She's authentic to who she is. And you can feel that. You can feel that she loves reading. You can feel that she wants you to love reading as much as she loves reading. And, you know, even though she's giving an honest opinion about a book, you are definitely going to laugh along the way. And I just love that. So next up, we have Shawnaci Schroeder, and she's actually the creator who inspired me to do this video. She's always open about sharing her platform and elevating other creators, and sometimes bringing them on her channel or going on bookish vacations and trips with them, and even doing videos highlighting some smaller creators that you may not know of. And I just absolutely love that she's willing to share her platform with others, because there's enough space for all of us here. And I cannot speak enough about how kind and welcoming and warm that she is in her videos. It literally feels like a virtual hug through a video. Like, that's the best way that I can kind of describe her videos. In terms of the genres that she reads, she's primarily a romance type of girl. However, she has been getting into other genres, like I think like thrillers, and I don't think she does much of fantasy, but she has done a little bit of literary fiction and a couple of other genres that she's been throwing in there. And one thing I will say is her book recommendations, or the style and way that she gives those recommendations, are so spot on. And she is really community oriented, and I believe she also has a podcast. I actually found Shawnaci in a random algorithm suggestion through one of her bookish vlogs where she was doing book shopping with her friend Alexandria. It was so fun watching how they interacted and how Shawnaci gave, you know, recommendations. It was a fun video. And from there, Alexandria ended up getting into reading and starting her own BookTube. And just, it was really cool to see the dynamics between them as friends. And Shawnaci is definitely one of those creators that I do not miss one of her weekly videos, okay? I just love being able to experience her weeks with her vacations, her trips, and just everyday life. And I love that she lives on a lake. It is such a picturesque view. The book recommendation that I actually got from her is Love in Other Words by Christina Lauren. And I saw this book in Half Price Books and I was like, I gotta get it, because she, I think, reads this book, I think once a year, if I'm remembering it correctly. And when I saw it, I was like, yep, it's getting added to the list. I don't know when I'm going to actually read it, but it's just there once I get in the mood. It's there once I get in the mood to read it. Okay, the last thing that I will share about Shawnaci is that she is such a nice and kind and positive person in general. And similar to Shelbey, she has experienced a lot of grief and challenges and hardships over the last couple of years. And she's brought us along in that journey. And we've seen her cry and grieve, but we've also seen her experience joyous moments and hit milestones and experience some really fun things, and really just overall experience the up and downs of life. And her ability to remain consistent and authentically her and still maintain that positivity about her and see the positivity in the world around her is just, again, it's inspirational and admirable. And you can absolutely feel her warmth and her kindness through her content. The next two booktubers are actually booktubers that I was introduced to through one of the videos that I was sharing about that Shawnaci created, which I just think is so cool. And first up, we have Alia with Books Marked by Alia. And I love how she balances work with reading, with family life, and how she walks you through her week in her videos. And it really provided a realistic perspective for me, like, oh, you know what? I could actually do this because Alia's balancing all of these things. It's possible for me. So what I will say about watching her content is it's similar to Shelbey in the sense that it feels so personal and comforting, and it feels like she's talking directly to you. It feels like y'all are having a good key, and her opinions about some of the popular books out there is something that I respect so much. Just anyone's ability to say, you know what, I know it's a popular book, but this wasn't for me, you know. And I think that that's okay, because again, reading is subjective. So two videos that I really love from Alia, well, I would say I really like all of her vlogs because they walk you through just a week in the life of her, and you're able to just see, you know, her get her morning coffee every morning and then come home. And there was one cool video, and I'll try to find it. It was where she actually set up a free library at her job. And I was like, I never really thought to do that. Like, that's a cool perspective to create a bookish community, like at work or within your own community. I really like that idea. And the book recommendation that I got from her is actually one of the books on my TBR for this month, which is Long Shot by Kennedy Ryan. I saw in one of her videos that she was like, it was a 5-star read for her. And I was wondering what other Kennedy Ryan books should I read outside of the Skyland series, because I'm not necessarily ready yet to read Can't Get Enough, even though I know everyone's reading it. I'm just not necessarily like, oh, I gotta read it. So just this was a very, very timely pickup for me, and I just so happened to see it. I'm trying to remember where I got it. I can't remember where I got it, but it was very timely. When I saw it, I was like, yep, she suggested it, so I'm getting it, and it just worked out because it got added to my TBR for the month. So what I love most about Alia, I just love how relatable she is. I love how down to earth that she is. And again, her videos just feel like a conversation with a friend, and I absolutely love that. Last but definitely not least, we have Khalilah D, and she is hilarious. I mean, genuinely hilarious. And if you love memes as much as I do, you are gonna resonate with her content, okay? Because she uses them and I'm always laughing. Anytime I see a video of hers come up, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna laugh. I'm gonna laugh. It's gonna be funny. And she reads mostly, I would say, a mixture of sci-fi, romance, fantasy, and literary fiction. Her building a dream library video, I think that's what it was called, was so funny. Her trip to Home Depot, I think it was, I don't know, but just seeing her build that was a video that I loved. So if you really want to laugh, I suggest 2 videos from her. The first being, she actually read 1-star reviews of her favorite books and her reactions to those responses. You're gonna get a good key. The second video that I would recommend is her review of the books that she read in 2024 and the categories that she listed them in. It wasn't like 1-star, 5-star, or like the rating thing. No, she based the categories off of memes, and it was a hilarious video. The book recommendation that I got from Khalilah was Funny Story by Emily Henry. And again, I have never read Emily Henry, and I think up until this point, Khalilah didn't necessarily like her books, but she loved this book. She said this was a really good book for her. And so I was like, you know what? If you're not necessarily Emily Henry fan up until that point, this is probably the book that I should read if you like it, because I've heard mixed things about Emily Henry, but I'm like, okay, if I'm going to read a book, I want it to be like the good book, so that if I want to get into other things, I'm starting from a good starting place, if that makes sense, you know? But yes, I don't know when I'm going to add this to my TBR, but based on what I've heard, like her books are like more fluffy, fun, and so they give summer vibes. I don't know. Sometimes I'm okay with not reading in the season, but I may add this to my list in the next couple of months before summer ends. What I absolutely love most about Khalilah is that she is down to earth and funny, and her videos really make the reading community or the bookish community feel more accessible and not, you know, stuffy and exclusive. It's just, she brings the fun to the party, and I absolutely love that. And she doesn't just read fun books, you know, she does read serious books, but she still has fun while doing it. And I think that's really cool. So those are the 5 booktubers who inspired me to start my own channel, and collectively they are all community oriented and authentic and true to themselves, and they have showed me that there is room for me, there's room for my voice, there's room for your voice, and there's enough room for all of us here at the table. Marinez taught me how to think critically about books, and Shelbey showed me the power of honest and subjective opinions. Shawnaci showed me how to build a genuine community around kindness and love. Alia proved that real life and reading can beautifully coexist. And Khalilah reminded me that reading should always be a good time. Each of them give me something different, and I absolutely love when they release videos. So that is it. Thank you so much for joining me in my YouTube journey and in this video. And let me know in the comment section, who are some booktubers or YouTubers that you love following and watching their journey? And have you been following, or have you already followed some of the booktubers that I've mentioned in this video? I'd love to know in the comment section. If you like this video, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification so you don't miss a new video. Until the next time, happy reading. Bye, y'all.